Hello everyone, we're back with some free houses, and we're gonna do some support. Hmm. Yeah, Sylvain. What happened?
Oh, Professor. I didn't realize you were there. If we keep running into each other like this, people will start to talk. Hey, don't get mad. I was joking. Ah, forget it. What do you need?
Girl problem, Sylvain?
I fell for that girl recently, but I just wanted to have some fun and leave it at that. So, I told her we should break it off. I guess she was feeling a little more serious than I was. She started crying, and everything got a bit complicated.
You're complicated.
Come on, Professor. Playing around with girls is the most fun a guy can have. Besides, I don't care what you think of me. I don't intend to change how I live my life. I'm a good-for-nothing, if you haven't noticed. But I'm still a noble with a crest. That's all anyone cares about. It's best to avoid getting too serious with fools like that. It only leads to trouble. I'm gonna be forced into an arranged marriage with some random noble woman anyway. By the way, Professor, you didn't know you had a crest, did you?
I never thought much about it.
I see. I suppose a mercenary wouldn't be concerned with such things.
What was your experience?
Most children who are born to noble families are tested upon birth to see if they bear one. Even descendants of the 10 elites, like myself, can't be legitimate heirs without a crest. That means as children, we're only accepted if we're born with one. The heads of most noble houses keep having kids until they get one with a crest. Those children then grow up to be heads of their houses, and the vicious cycle continues. Do you get it now? To all these commoner girls, I'm just a trophy, or rather, a stud horse.
You mean they only want you for your bloodline?
See? I knew you'd get it. These girls don't love me. They love the potential rewards of loving me. If I marry a girl, and she gives birth to a child with a crest, that kid might become the next head of House Gautier. But nowadays, with the bloodlines getting weaker, there are a lot of kids like my brother, born with no hope. For ages now, those of us with crests have been envied and desired, but never for who we are. I understand the value of my blood. Believe me, I hate how much I understand it. I know better than to dream of being free from this burden. I'm used to it by now. I used to think I didn't have the right to live freely.
You don't think that way anymore?
That's right. You know what? I'm a bit jealous. The whole time you were growing up, you never knew you had a crest. You were free. Nobody pretended to like you. I kind of hate you for that. You were a spoiled brat who should pay for that crest. Maybe I'll collect the debt. Gotcha! Wow, you should have seen the look on your face just then. Don't mind me, Professor. After all, ladies love a dark and brooding noble.
Okay, Sylvain. Mercedes and Annette and Ingrid.
Apologies for my late arrival, Mercedes. My duties ran long, as per usual.
There's no need to apologize at all. Please, have a seat. We've met for tea so many times, but you never seem to get used to it, do you, Ingrid?
Not entirely, no. I'm not accustomed to being treated so delicately. Anyway, what will we talk about today?
I actually wanted to gripe about something that's been bothering me.
You? Gripe? Now that's unusual. I'm happy to listen, of course. It's the least I can do after all the kindness you've shown me.
Thank you. The one thing I really wanted to talk about is marriage.
Oh?
Yes. I received a letter from my adoptive father about marriage discussions with a noble family.
And will you accept?
That's the problem. No matter what I decide, I'll probably be married off anyway. What I really want to do is help those in need. But I think it would be more difficult to do so if I married a nobleman.
Understandably so. Sounds to me like you need a strategy to silence your father.
Sorry? To silence him?
Don't you agree? It seems the best course of action would be to consider severing all ties with the family and running away.
We don't need to go that far. I'm sorry, I really just needed to let that out. I don't need you to worry about solving my problems.
Oh, okay. It's just a bit personal for me, actually. My own father has brought countless marriage proposals to my attention. He always was obsessed with me carrying on the family bloodline. At a very young age, my hand had already been promised to someone in marriage. But Glenn died young.
That must have been difficult for you. Would you have married him if he had survived?
That's a good question. It's hard to imagine now. Although I did admire him quite a lot. He held true to the ideals of knighthood, proudly serving the king. Even after all these years, I aspire to be the type of knight that he embodied. But that's just it. I'm not a tool for furthering my family's fortunes. I'm a knight at heart, regardless of what my father desires.
I see. A very noble cause indeed. How strange that we should be worrying about the same thing.
Even though we are such different people.
It's true. Enjoying a nice chat over tea with you like this makes me realize maybe the paths we walk aren't so different after all. Don't you think?
I do. These tea parties of ours, they really are something special.
That they are. Ingrid, I would love to get to know you better if that's okay. I want to know about your childhood, your favorite books, the sweets you like, anything at all.
Absolutely. I'm happy to speak with you anytime. And I want to know you better too, Mercedes.
Bro, too bad that's their last support conversation. Dimitri. And Andrew. Felix. It's gonna be cool. Real cool.
You don't look busy. Join me for some training, boar prince.
And here I thought you had no desire to speak with me.
We don't need to speak to clash swords, do we?
I suppose not. Is that one new? Wait. Where did you get such a blade?
I suppose you would recognize its value. I came upon a merchant selling weapons and found this among the rest of the steel.
That pattern around the edge. There's no doubt. It was forged by Zoltan, the master swordsmith.
I'm not giving it to you.
Huh? Oh, I'm just happy to have laid eyes on it. I don't suppose you'd allow me the chance to hold it.
Do you take me for a fool? I'm not letting a brute like you swing it around.
As though I would be careless with something so valuable.
I recall when you were 9 years old, you swung a sword so hard you snapped it clean in two.
Come now, that was so long ago. I'm hardly the fool I was then.
So you say. Yet Housefrau Darius still told that story for years.
What's wrong, Felix?
How pointless. No use talking about someone who's long dead. Looking at your face is making me angry. I'm going to find a different training partner. Farewell, your beastliness.
What is going on with him?
You real angsty. What? Oh, hang on. What is this? Illustrious sword forged by the... Oh. Interesting. Never gotten a weapon from a support conversation before. Sylvain! He's gonna sit and rap on him again, probably.
Your Highness? Why are you in my room?
Sorry, I need to hide in here, just for a while. I'll have you know this is all your fault.
Hide? From who?
It's, a girl from the academy.
I'm sorry. It's a what?
A girl.
This is all because of your insistence that I go and ask a girl out.
You didn't give her a dagger, did you? Is that why you're hiding? Does she have a dagger, Dimitri?
Look, you kept true to your promise to improve your behavior. So I felt it was only right to make good on my side of the bargain, too.
You invited a girl to dinner, and now she's chasing you around. What's the big deal? Unless... Did you use one of my pickup lines? Those words are dangerous in the wrong hands. With me, people know a line's a line and I'm joking. But you, nobody's ever accused you of being funny.
I clearly underestimated the difficulty of the task. But what do I do now?
Relax, Your Highness. Relax. I'll sort this whole thing out real easy. All we have to do is figure out how to make this girl lose interest in you. And making girls lose interest is what I'm best at. You just wait right there, and I'll fix everything.
It was my naivete that brought this about. I cannot place this immense burden on your shoulders.
This is no job for an amateur. You need a professional's help. Trying to do everything yourself has never served you so well, so just leave this to the master. Even the dagger incident could have been avoided if you had just talked with me beforehand.
There wasn't time for consultation. I only learned she was leaving on the day of her departure.
Whatever you say. The point is, you need to learn to rely on me for these types of things in the future. For now, I got this. And if I ever need help with something you know how to help with, then maybe you can do the same for me.
Sylvain. Very well. When that time comes, I promise to help you as best I can. A knight of Fargus never goes back on his word. Isn't that right? You're a good man, Sylvain. I'm sorry to do this to you. Best of luck.
Please, Your Highness. I've spent years honing my skills for just this situation. Watch and learn.
Dang. Not expecting that. I don't even remember that support happening. Ingrid and Petrie.
Ingrid, I've been doing some thinking, and it occurs to me that I owe you an apology.
What? Why do you seem so serious?
In a just world, you would be happily married to Glenn. He truly loved you, and it's clear that you cared deeply for him as well. But on that awful night, he died right before my eyes. I could do nothing to prevent it. In a way, I'm responsible for you losing the joyous future that should have been yours. I know my words can change nothing, but I'm so sorry, Ingrid.
No, Your Highness. There's no need to apologize. Glenn's death, it still doesn't feel real. I always looked up to Glenn. He was the very picture of a perfect knight, noble and virtuous. In the end, he laid down his life, the ultimate sacrifice. I feel proud of him in ways that words can't quantify.
Proud? Truly?
That's right. I feel proud that he died for those he was sworn to protect. Proud that he passed from this realm to the next as a perfect knight.
Are you really trying to turn his needless death into an ideal to uphold? You and he are so alike.
Needless death? How can you say that? Glenn gave his life for you, for everyone, and this is how you speak of his sacrifice?
You weren't there. You didn't witness his last moments. If you had, you wouldn't feel that way.
I don't care to hear your interpretation of his final moments. He was and will always be an ideal knight.
You would do well to rethink that ideal, my friend.
Pardon me? He served in your guard. He took great pride in what he did, in protecting you. The very least you can do is not spit on his memory. If you'll excuse me.
What is the matter with me?
I just had, during that, the most crazy revelation. Ingrid was engaged to a Glenn, who was a knight. Felix's brother was named Glenn, and he was a knight. Don't know. I don't know. Brother-in-law, that would be really weird. Really weird. Okay, Sylvain and Felix, because why the heck not?
Sylvain, I want to apologize for the other day.
The other day? What are you talking about, Felix? Is this a trap?
You know, when I called you insatiable.
Oh, that? Can't say it didn't hurt, but you have nothing to apologize for. I mean, you've said worse, Felix. Considerably worse. Come on, we've known each other since we were kids. We're not gonna let your constant verbal abuse get in the way of our friendship, are we?
No, I suppose not.
Whenever I started doing something dumb, you'd yell at me about it.
And whenever you dragged me into something, Ingrid would find out and start lecturing us.
All these years, and not much has changed, has it? But you're different, Felix. You used to be so, I don't know, carefree when we were young. Now you're the exact opposite.
Well, you're not any different. Good for nothing then, good for nothing now.
Again with the abuse. This from the guy who's always been by that good-for-nothing side. So, did you come to apologize, or to insult me?
I was on my way to train and I saw you. That's all.
You're off to train, again? Now who's insatiable?
Better than sitting idle like you.
A little idleness would do you some good, pal. Come on, let me buy you something to eat.
No.
You have to choose, Felix. Our friendship, or your training.
My training. Goodbye for now.
What did... is he... Wait, Felix, I'll come train too. Wait up.
Yeah, Felix just... I just looked it up during that, and I was right. Felix would have been Ingrid's brother-in-law. All this. Happy.
Scampered up to me, hopped in my lap, and scarfed it all down in one bite.
That sounds terrible.
I was looking forward to that sandwich all morning, and then she scurried off like nothing happened.
All right then. What do you feel like doing today?
Why'd you sigh like that?
It's not a problem, is it? I could tell you were holding back a real monstrous sigh yourself. Figured I'd get one out for the both of us. Felt great.
Oh, I see. Must be nice, sighing whenever you feel so inclined.
Oh, why not try taking a deep breath whenever you feel a sigh coming on? Trick yourself out of it.
I tried that once. It went okay at first, but then I had to exhale.
Right. Guess they're too similar for that to work. Does that mean yawning is a no-go too?
I'm pretty bored right now, so maybe we'll find out. But I don't yawn very often, to be honest.
Because you sleep when the sun goes down and wake when it rises, yeah?
Yep, that's been my routine for a while now. It's easier than contending with a full day of boring stuff.
Come on, everything has its quirks. I don't think I'd call anything in this wild world boring.
Really? Because you don't seem to take much interest in your own future.
That's not very nice, is it? We really aren't all that different, you know? I'd wager you haven't given too much thought to tomorrow either.
Quiet. Don't pretend you can see through me. This pointless chatter has made me even hungrier than I already was. I'm off to the dining hall.
Just wanted the gal to relax for a change. She's as prickly as ever.
Yay! Oh my god, how many more do we have? Dimitri and Happy? This will be interesting.
unhappy, you must know that it's rather uncomfortable to be the subject of such an unflinching gaze.
You'll have to put up with it for a little while longer. I feel like I can almost remember.
Apologies, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. Care to elaborate?
I have this sense that we met somewhere, before we were students. But you're the Prince of Fargus, so how could I have met you?
I do not recall meeting you previously either. Although, long ago, I sometimes accompanied my father as he traveled the kingdom. Perhaps we crossed paths.
Unlikely. I lived in an isolated village in the forest. We didn't have contact with outsiders. After I ran away, I was kidnapped. And my kidnapper kept me locked up all day and night. I think I'd remember if the royal family had stopped by for a visit.
Kidnapped? What do you mean by that?
A lady found me, a helpless runaway, and offered to take me in. She promised to keep me safe. Instead, I became her test subject. She experimented on me with all kinds of spells and rituals. I had a roof over my head and plenty to eat, but otherwise it was a pretty bad experience.
This may be unwelcome from a stranger like myself, but I want you to know that it's perfectly acceptable to be angry about such unfortunate circumstances. I can't fathom why someone would cause you pain like that. I'm sorry you had to endure such a thing. You have every right to feel anything you need to feel toward the person responsible for your suffering.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder...
What's the matter? Was it something I said?
It's just that I've heard those words before. I think it was someone else who said them, but I can't remember who. Maybe I'll figure it out someday. In the meantime, see you around.
Yes, of course. If our meeting again can help you in any way, you need only ask, and I'll be there.
Alright, I got like 2 or 3 more. Minute.
Hello, Felix. So, it was your turn to clean out the greenhouse, right?
Yes.
Well, I went ahead and took care of it. I also cleaned up the warehouse.
Why?
I just wanted to help you out. So that... Okay, fine. I'm bribing you. So you'll forget.
Forget what?
Are you really gonna make me say it? Before, in the greenhouse, I want you to forget what you saw and heard. If you agree to forget about it, I'll take your shift in the stables. Do we have a deal?
No thanks.
No? But that's not okay! You have to forget about it, right this moment!
I can't. It's permanently etched in my memory. A mountain of sweets, as well as steaks and cakes. Stacks of them, apparently. I'm also intrigued by those bear and swamp beastie songs you mentioned. Ah, and I've been meaning to ask about the move that went along with crumbs and yums. Was that fencing footwork?
Oh, stop it, Felix! You're a villain!
Hmm?
You think you're so funny? Keeping a straight face while mocking my singing and dancing? Well, you have to forget about it! Please! What if I make you a nice steak dinner? You like steak, don't you, Felix? It'll be yummy!
This isn't about steak. I just...
Fine, be stubborn! Tell the whole world for all I care! I'll just learn to live with the funny looks I'll get from everyone. They'll all say, there goes that Annette, the girl with the funny ideas about food. You're just the evilest of villains, Felix! I'll hate you forever and ever!
I was just trying to be nice. Funny ideas about food? Even the bullies in her head are ridiculous. I really don't understand that girl.
She's just self-conscious, that's all it is. Uno mas. Now that I know, this might be interesting.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Have you been there long? I was absorbed in this book.
Another silly legend?
First of all, they're not silly. And second of all, no. It's an essay that speaks to uncommon and challenging battle scenarios. I've been researching such things since you proposed your unique strategy. Listen to this. Your commander gives orders that put your hometown in extreme danger. Do you carry out the orders or protect your hometown?
What nonsense. I was talking about real-world tactics, not some dumb ethical question.
Whatever your personal feelings on the matter, I see similarities between such tactics and these dumb ethical questions. I haven't read beyond this one, but I think the obvious answer is to follow your commander. The duty and pride of being a knight demand that you follow orders, regardless of your own feelings. But if I were put in such a position, I don't know how I'd fare. In fact, were someone to carry out those orders, I know that I'd attempt to stop them.
Stop bothering with all this. You're not meant to be a knight. Go find a husband.
Oh!
Excuse me?
Oh!
You heard me.
Sexist?
I know you hate the ideals of chivalry and pride. So much so, you prefer to escape your duty as your family's heir. You have no right to criticize me for my ideals.
Perhaps not. At least I know not to heedlessly obey orders. I know not to romanticize blind obedience. My brother taught me to think for myself.
Don't you dare bring Glenn into this.
You're right. Forget it.
We just got a whole lot of Felix. Damn, he is sexist. I didn't even realize that. I hate him a little bit more now. Explore. I think we just gotta eat some food. Keep doing this, Skyrim. A light snack. And I'm just curious, it's like, you know, see what happens with sexist Felix and Ingrid.
That looks appetizing.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
Ash. Settings.
This looks delicious. Let's eat.
This is my absolute favorite. How did you know, Professor?
Okay. Annette and Constance.
Ooh, I love this stuff. Did you know that? Ooh, exquisite. This is exactly the meal I've been craving.
Who else needs motivation? The Dew and Sylvain, okay. They're gonna even be on this. Dew, okay. Oh, there we go. Done.
I like this. Yeah, you just get it.
Okay. Now we get to train. Ray wants to talk to me?
I have been told that your house won the White Heron Cup. This can only be a result of the students' talent and effort, not to mention your steadfast instruction.
I'm straight, woman. Alright. Wow!
Such power dwells within?
Where is Tattoo?
I have looked from his I have all. It is almost.
The glory of progress.
Who else is up here? Hey. Where's Dad? He's not even there. Wait, is he there? Damn it.
Gary, why? It's a once in a...
Practice yields results.
Hey! I don't think there's anything else or anyone else I need to talk to. Oh, Annette. She won the dance competition. My girl.
Professor, I did it! I won! All that practice paid off!
Indeed it did.
Professor,
Oh cow, holy cow, okay.
A lot.
And there's so many of them. You know what? We're gonna be done. Just a wee bit early today. But we got a lot of support conversations done. And found out that Felix is not only grumpy, angsty, and mean, but he's also sexist. Sure. Dang, early stage Felix really does not. I'm like, I now feel bad for Ingrid. I don't know why I'm saying that, but like, I feel bad for Ingrid because, you know, like now I realize that Felix is a jerk to her and literally he was about to be her brother-in-law. What the hell? Okay, so hope y'all are enjoying. If you are, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.